The Queen of Spiderwood, written by John Bliss and Noel Mallet, narrated by Andrea Mallet. There is a corner of the Creepy Crawly Woods where even the crows fall silent, where the wind moves strangely and the trees lean just a little too close, where you feel quite suddenly that you are not alone. This is Spiderwood. To the northwest it lies, close to the silver heath, nestled between thorny rises and forgotten trails. It is not marked on any maps, and even if it were, the wise would still walk another way, for here dwell the spiders. Not the sort you find under a log or sneaking into your boots during the green tide rain. No, these spiders are spun from older stuff. Some are no bigger than a crumb, and others would cast a shadow over a cart horse, if horses were anything more than made-up nonsense, of course. Some are silk smooth, others shimmer like glass. Some are furred like mossy stones, and others bear armour plates, as if they'd been forged rather than born. There are those who say Spiderwood is touched by fairy, and that might explain why its residents are so strange, why their webs sing when the moon turns, and why the trees themselves seem to shift just a little when you're not looking. The spiders do not speak with voices, they speak with vibration, with rhythm, a thrumming on the lines of their webs, a tremble in the bark, a twitch in the soil. They are weavers of homes and traps, hunters of great skill and little mercy. But cruelty, that is a word for folk with softer hands and guilt in their hearts. Spiders are not cruel. They are simply spiders. And all of them, from the tiniest thread spinner to the mighty tree lurkers, answer to one queen, Ilharess. They call her the matron of the Spiderwood, but that name is only a whisper of what she truly is. She takes many forms. Sometimes she walks the woods like an elven princess, pale-eyed and beautiful as the polished blade. Other times, and far more often, she hunts in her truest shape, a colossal wolf spider with eyes like jet and legs like spears. It was the Woodland King who gave her the Spiderwood, a gift, or more likely a pact, in exchange for her silent watch over the northwestern borders. And she has watched. No bandit, poacher or spy who slips into her part of the woods ever makes it far. Many creatures fear her. They whisper her name as if it might summon her, and yet she is not unfair. The foxes, for all their arrogance, are allowed to pass, though not without a few extra glances towards the upper canopy. And one goblin, Grubbalobalob, of Northwood Cave, walks freely beneath the webs, for he is what few have ever dared to be, a true spider friend. The rest of us? Well, we'd best keep to the path and mind where we tread. Because when Spiderwood darkens, when the moon is veiled and the trees stop swaying, you feel a thread brush the back of your neck and wonder whether you've been seen, or worse, whether you've been marked. That was a tale from Owtdare, of threads, thorns, and a queen whose domain waits in the shadows. And if you're just joining us, there's a whole world to explore at Owtdare.com. You'll find maps, characters, and even links to some illustrated storybooks if you want to take the tales with you. Try to sleep well, traveller. We'll see you next time.